Lieutenant Marcus Hale had spent many long nights on the edge of known space. His post was not glamorous. He was not fighting pirates or discovering new star systems. He was simply part of the watch crew on Station Argus, a small research hub circling an unnamed planet. Most nights were the same: silence, the hum of the engines, and the soft glow of control panels. That night began no different. Marcus sat in his quarters, reading an old book from Earth on his tablet. The walls of his cabin were plain steel, the air recycled 1,000 times. He sometimes wondered why he signed up for this post. Adventure, he had told himself years ago. But this life felt more like waiting. Waiting for what, he did not know. Then it happened. At first, Marcus thought his eyes were playing tricks on him. The wall across from his bed rippled, just a small shimmer, like heat rising from desert sand. He blinked and rubbed his eyes, but the shimmer grew wider, brighter, until it bent outward as if the solid wall had turned into liquid. And then, impossibly, a figure stepped through. Marcus jumped too, his hand going straight for the sidearm at his belt. But he froze when he saw the figure clearly. It was a woman. She moved carefully, her body sliding through the wall like mist. When she was fully inside, the wall closed behind her as if nothing had happened. She was unarmed. She wore no suit, no armor, not even clothing. She was bare, but not in a way that seemed shameful or strange. It was as if she had walked in without the things people normally carried, without protection, without barriers, without anything between her and the world. She stood there, vulnerable and yet calm, her dark eyes fixed on him. For a long moment, Marcus could not move. His mind raced to find explanations. A hologram? A dream? A malfunction in the wall systems? But none of those things could explain what he saw. She was real. He could hear her breathing, see the faint trembling of her shoulders, the way her hair clung to her damp skin as if she had walked through rain. What are you? Marcus managed to say, his voice rough. The woman swayed on her feet, as though each breath was an effort. She looked at him with eyes full of urgency and fear. Her lips parted and she spoke only 2 words. "They're coming." Before Marcus could react, she collapsed. Instinct took over. He rushed forward and caught her before she hit the floor. She was light, fragile, her skin strangely cool to the touch. He lowered her gently onto his bed and pressed his fingers to her neck. Her pulse was there, faint but steady. Alarms did not sound. The station sensors had not detected an intruder. No one was pounding on his door. It was as if she had appeared only for him. Marcus activated his comm. "Medbay, this is Hale. I need a medical team in my quarters now." The reply crackled back, calm as ever. "On our way, Lieutenant." He looked down at the strange woman again. She lay still, her breathing shallow, her face pale. She did not look like any alien species Marcus had studied in academy texts. She looked human, almost too human. But how could a human pass through a solid wall? The med team arrived within minutes. 2 doctors and a medic drone entered the room, their eyes widening at the sight of the unconscious woman. Questions came fast, but Marcus had no answers. He only repeated what he saw. She came through the wall, said, "They're coming," and fainted. The doctors carried her to the medbay. Marcus followed, ignoring the curious stares of crew members in the corridor. His thoughts spun in circles. If she was human, where did she come from? If she was not, why did she look so much like one? And who were they? In medbay, machines hummed around her as doctors scanned her body. The results were confusing. Her biology was close to human, but not exact. Slight differences in organ structure, blood chemistry, and cellular patterns. Yet her appearance was identical. She could have been a woman born on Earth. "She shouldn't be alive without a suit," one doctor muttered. "There was no airlock breach, no transport signal. She just appeared." Marcus stayed by her side, watching as monitors traced, her heartbeat and breathing. She looked peaceful now, almost as if she were only asleep. but he remembered the fear in her eyes, the urgency in her voice. They're coming. Who were they? Pirates? An alien force? Something worse? Captain Rains soon arrived, tall and stern, his face carved with years of command. He listened to Marcus's report with narrowed eyes. Through the wall, you say? Yes, sir. Like she wasn't solid. Like she phased through. That's impossible, the captain said flatly. But his eyes flicked toward the woman and doubt cracked through his voice. And yet, here she is. The captain ordered guards to keep watch. He told Marcus to stay close since he was the one the stranger first approached. Marcus agreed without hesitation. He wanted answers as much as anyone. Hours passed. The woman did not wake. Marcus sat beside her, restless. He replayed the moment, again and again in his head. The ripple in the wall, her fragile form, the words she spoke. They're coming. He wondered if he should be afraid. He wondered if he should be preparing the station for battle. But more than fear, he felt curiosity burning inside him. Who was she? Why had she chosen his room, his wall, his arms? What force could drive someone to appear in such a strange and desperate way? The station outside continued its silent orbit around the nameless planet. But inside, Marcus knew everything had changed. The quiet, waiting life he once knew was gone. Something was coming. Something big. And it had all begun with a woman who walked through his wall and collapsed into his arms, completely bare, carrying nothing but a warning. The woman lay quietly in medbay, her breathing slow and steady, though still shallow. Lieutenant Marcus Hale had not left her side since the previous night. Machines monitored her vitals, while soft lights cast a calm glow over the room. Despite all the security protocols, he felt a strange connection to her. She had appeared, out of nowhere, and now she was the center of an impossible mystery. The med team had finished their preliminary scans. The chief doctor, Dr. Lyra Vance, approached Marcus. Her biology is mostly human, she explained, but there are some anomalies. Cellular structures don't match anything we've cataloged. It's subtle, but it's there. Marcus frowned. So she's not human? Dr. Vance shrugged. She looks human, feels human, but she isn't, at least not exactly. Marcus glanced down at the woman. She stirred. Her eyes opened slowly, glowing faintly in the soft light. She looked around with confusion and alertness. Marcus leaned closer. Hey, can you hear me? The woman's lips moved, but she spoke in a language he did not understand. Her voice was musical, almost like a song, yet the words made no sense. Marcus held up a hand. It's okay. You're safe. You're on the station. Slowly, she shifted, her focus to him, her gaze steady now. A faint smile touched her lips as though she understood his words even if she could not speak them. Then suddenly her eyes widened with urgency. They're coming, she repeated in perfect English this time. Her voice was soft but firm. The phrase sent a chill through Marcus. Who's coming? He asked, trying to stay calm. What do you mean? The woman took a shaky breath and sat up slightly, her eyes scanning the room. The hunters, she said. They are relentless. You must help. Marcus's mind raced. Hunters? What kind of hunters? Her eyes locked onto his with an intensity that made him shiver. I am Lyra, she said. I am not like you. My people, we phase through matter. She hesitated, then whispered, I crossed into your world to warn you, your people. They will be hunted too. Marcus blinked. Phase through matter, like walking through walls? Lyra nodded slowly. Yes, but it is dangerous and difficult. For humans, it is impossible. Normally, my kind, we learned it a long time ago. But the hunters, they can follow us, even through walls, even through time. Marcus sat back, stunned. He tried to take it all in. Wait, you're saying You're from another dimension or another planet? Liara shook her head slightly. Not another planet. Not exactly. We exist, slightly out of phase with normal matter. That is why I could walk through your wall. That is why you did not see me coming. Marcus rubbed his temples. The words made his head spin. Okay, so you're some kind of alien, and you can walk through solid objects. But why come here? Why now? Liara's eyes filled with worry. Because my people, we are weak now. The hunters, they are older than the stars. They do not tire. They do not forgive. We cannot fight them anymore. But humans can fight in ways we lost long ago. You may be able to stop them. Marcus swallowed hard. He looked around the room. The station hummed quietly, unaware of the danger Liara described. No alarms, no warning lights, nothing to show what was coming. Yet he felt a cold knot of fear in his stomach. Stop them? How? We don't even know what they are, Marcus said. Liara's expression grew serious. They are hunters of life. They erase existence. Nothing stops them, except adaptation, creativity, courage. Your people, you have traits we abandoned. That is why I came, to warn you, to help you fight. Marcus's thoughts raced. This was beyond anything he had trained for, yet something inside him stirred. A spark of hope, a spark of pride. Humans were resilient. Humans could improvise. Perhaps Liara was right. Perhaps humans had something no other species could offer. He sat closer to her, lowering his voice. All right, Liara, if you're telling the truth, we need to know everything. Who exactly are these hunters, and how do we prepare? Liara closed her eyes and took a deep breath. They are ancient, older than your son. The calm of Station Argus was gone. Marcus Hale paced the medbay corridor, his eyes darting to the monitors and airlocks. Liara lay on a bed nearby, her breathing slow but steady, yet Marcus could see the tension in her eyes. Something was coming. He could feel it, a presence heavier than any storm, darker than the void outside. It started with a hum. Soft at first, a vibration through the floor and walls, almost imperceptible. Marcus froze. He had felt tremors before, from engine malfunctions or nearby asteroid movements, but this was different. The hum seemed alive. It pulsed rhythmic, approaching. Then came the shimmer. A section of the station's hull near the cargo bay flickered like a reflection in disturbed water. Marcus ran to the control panel. The sensors showed nothing, no ship, no entity, no anomaly. And yet, he knew what he saw. Something had touched the station. Something had pressed through the wall. He turned back to Liara, who was now sitting upright, eyes wide with urgency. They are here, she said softly but firmly. Her voice trembled, not with fear, but with warning. Marcus swallowed hard. Where? How can we see them? The sensors show nothing. They are not fully in this phase, Liara explained. They move between matter, between moments. Your machines cannot detect them, like we cannot stop them. With normal weapons, he nodded, trying to stay calm. His mind raced for solutions. Then we have to find another way. We can't just wait for them to destroy the station. The hum grew louder. A cold, dark presence moved through the corridors. Marcus felt it in his chest, a weight pressing down, making his breaths shorter. Then in the cargo bay, he saw it. A shape that flickered in and out of sight. Its form was wrong, like looking at smoke shaped like a beast. One moment it seemed solid, the next it was fading, intangible. It moved with speed and precision, shifting through walls, doors, and bulkheads as if nothing stopped it. Liara rose from the medbay bed and followed Marcus. It is a predator, older than your stars. It hunts everything, alive. We have faced it before, but it learns, adapts. Humans can fight differently. You must act quickly. Marcus nodded, gripping the wall for balance. Then tell me what to do. Tell me how we stop it. Liara closed her eyes, then raised her hands in a slow, deliberate motion. The air shimmered slightly around her, tiny sparks dancing on the surfaces near her. It is sensitive to energy harmonics. Waves of certain frequencies can repel it temporarily, but not for long. It will return stronger if we do not prepare. The lights flickered. The hum became a low roar. Crew members appeared at doorways, staring in fear and confusion. No alarms had triggered, but instinct told them danger had entered the station. Marcus's voice was steady. Everyone stay calm, gather in the main control room. Lock all access points. As they moved, Marcus and Liara tested a small harmonic generator in the lab. She directed the energy, her hands moving in precise, fluid gestures. A ripple of light pulsed outward. The predator, which had been gliding through walls and corridors, paused, wavering. For a moment it recoiled as if struck, then vanished into the walls. Marcus exhaled, but the relief was short-lived. That was temporary, he said. Liara nodded. Yes, it learns quickly. We have minutes, maybe hours, before it tries again. A sudden crash echoed through the station. Alarms now blared as sensors picked up hull damage. The predator had struck again, this time breaking through reinforced walls. Crew members shouted, scrambling for safety. Marcus's heart pounded. Liara grabbed his arm. We must combine human ingenuity with my knowledge. You can create traps, devices, anything that adapts fast. That is your strength. Marcus looked around. The station's equipment, designed for research and maintenance, was now a toolkit for survival. He barked orders, coordinating with engineers. They welded improvised barriers, rerouted power to energy generators, and set up harmonic devices guided by Liara. Crew members worked with intensity Marcus had never seen. Fear had turned into determination. Hours passed in a blur. The predator struck again, phasing through walls in unpredictable patterns. Each time the humans adapted, they learned quickly, setting up new traps and energy pulses that slowed it temporarily. Liara moved among them, teaching gestures and patterns to enhance their devices. The station shook, lights flickered, but the team pressed on. Marcus caught a moment to glance at Liara. She looked almost human now, calm and focused despite the chaos. You've taught them well, he said. Liara's eyes met his. They have courage. That we lost. Humans are unpredictable. In the best way. That is why I came. That is why I trust you. A sudden roar echoed through the main corridor. The predator had appeared again, larger and more defined. Its shifting form radiated a dark energy that made the air feel heavy. Crew members froze in fear. Marcus stepped forward, hand on a lever. Now! Liara raised her hands, harmonics flowing. Marcus activated the energy pulse. A wave of light and vibration hit the predator. It screeched, half-formed, flickering in pain. Then just as quickly, it vanished through the walls again, leaving behind damaged panels and scorched metal. Marcus exhaled deeply. That worked, he said. Liara shook her head. Only briefly. It will return, and stronger. We must prepare for the real fight. If we do not, it will destroy everything. Humans must adapt faster than it learns. Marcus nodded, determination hardening. The predator was real, deadly, and unstoppable by ordinary means. But humans had one advantage Liara's species had forgotten: adaptability, creativity under pressure, the willingness to risk everything for survival. He looked around the room at the frightened but determined crew. Listen, he said, his voice steady. This is unlike anything we've faced, but we can survive. We will survive. We fight together. We adapt. That predator thinks it knows everything, but it doesn't know humans. Liara's eyes glimmered with something Marcus had never seen. Hope. Yes, humans, we will see. Perhaps we can fight together. The buy station hummed again, the predator now lurking somewhere unseen. Marcus could feel it, waiting, watching, but he also felt the spark of human courage burning brighter than the fear. The first real battle had begun. The predator was revealed, powerful and terrifying. But humans, guided by Liara and their own ingenuity, were ready to fight in ways nothing in the universe had expected. And in that moment, Marcus realized that Station Argus was no longer just a quiet outpost. It was a battlefield. It was a proving ground. And humans, unpredictable, brave, and clever, would show the universe why they should never be underestimated. The predator had vanished again, leaving Station Argus eerily quiet, but the tension lingered like smoke in the air. Lieutenant Marcus Hale stood in the main control room, scanning the status reports with narrowed eyes. Every section of the station had suffered damage and the crew's nerves were frayed. Yet Marcus noticed a spark of determination in every face he passed. Fear had turned into focus. Liara walked beside him, her movements smooth and deliberate. Though she appeared human, her presence reminded everyone of the danger that lay just beyond perception. Her dark eyes scanned the consoles, studying the station's defenses. "Humans, your response is remarkable," she said softly. My people, we would not have adapted so quickly. You think, you improvise, even in chaos." Marcus nodded. "That's what humans do. We survive, even when the odds are impossible." He gestured to the damaged sections of the station. "But surviving isn't enough anymore. We need to plan. We need a way to stop it, not just delay it." Liara stopped and looked at him seriously. "Yes, but your methods are dangerous. Humans risk everything. That is both your strength and your weakness. My people, we avoided risk. We became safe, predictable. That is why the predator followed us." Marcus frowned. "Then we need to use that strength. Risk, improvisation, unpredictability. What can we do together?" She paused, her gaze distant. "We combine knowledge. I understand the predator's phase, how it moves, how it senses life, how it can be temporarily repelled. You understand machinery, energy, adaptation. Together, we may build something to contain it or drive it away." Marcus's mind began to work. The station was a maze of research labs, storage rooms, and maintenance tunnels. Every area could become a trap or a shield. Energy generators, harmonic devices, and experimental shields could be combined with Liara's knowledge of phasing. But it would require quick thinking, teamwork, and courage. He turned to the crew who had gathered in the main control room. "Listen," he said firmly. "We're not just defending the station anymore. We're preparing to fight something we can't see with normal sensors, something that adapts to every move we make. Liara here has knowledge we've never seen before. We'll combine it with our engineering and creativity. That's how we survive. That's how we win." Murmurs of understanding spread through the group. Engineers began sketching layouts, planning energy traps, and preparing harmonic fields. The station's corridors became a hive of activity, buzzing with determination. Liara moved among them, instructing and demonstrating. Her gestures were precise, almost like a dance, guiding the crew on how to create energy patterns that could disrupt the predator's phase. Crew members watched and mimicked her movements, learning quickly under Marcus's supervision. Hours passed. The station shook sporadically as the predator tested its ability to return. panels rattled, lights flickered, and the hum of the unknown predator returned before sunrise. Station Argus shivered under its presence, metal groaning as the ancient entity moved through walls, floors, and bulkheads like a shadow made of liquid. Marcus Hale stood in the command center, gripping the edge of the console as the monitors flickered. The crew was ready so far as they could be, but the predator was stronger this time, its movements faster and more unpredictable. Liara hovered beside him, her hands raised, tracing invisible patterns in the air. "It has learned," she said, her voice steady but tense. "Your previous traps delayed it, but it now anticipates. You, humans, must adapt. Faster." Marcus nodded. "We will. We have no choice." He turned to the crew, whose faces reflected exhaustion, fear, and determination all at once. "Listen up. The predator is stronger now. It will break through. Anything ordinary. But we are not ordinary. We are humans. We adapt. We improvise. Every device, every plan, every risk you take counts. Remember, unpredictability is our weapon." The engineers and scientists sprang into action. They rerouted, power through harmonic generators, connected experimental shields, and modified energy pulses in ways no manual had ever described. Crew members improvised barriers, welded them quickly into place, and created trap corridors that could funnel the predator into zones of high energy frequency. Liara guided them, her knowledge precise and invaluable. "Your energy must pulse irregularly, in patterns. The predator cannot predict, change, combine, adjust. Quickly. You, humans, you can do this." The first strike came from the cargo bay. The predator phased through the reinforced walls, materializing as a dark, shimmering shape. Its form flickered between solid and intangible. Alarms screamed, lights flickered, and the station trembled violently. Crew members scrambled, activating traps and energy pulses as Marcus directed them. Liara raised her hands, sending waves of harmonic energy through the area. The predator recoiled for a moment, its form distorting as the pulses struck. Sparks flew from panels, and the air vibrated with power. It let out a low, resonating sound, as if in pain, before vanishing through the walls again. Marcus shouted, coordinating every movement. "Engineers, reroute power to sections 4 and 7. Activate harmonic traps. Scientists, adjust the pulse frequency. Keep it unpredictable." For hours, the predator attacked, phasing through walls and corridors, testing the station's defenses. Each time, the humans adapted. They modified energy pulses, changed trap patterns, and reinforced barriers in real time. Liara moved among them, showing gestures to refine their harmonic patterns. Marcus noticed the crew's growing confidence. Fear was still present, but determination had replaced panic. Humans thrived on unpredictability, and each improvisation frustrated the predator. Its attacks became more chaotic, less controlled, as it struggled to adapt to a species that could change faster than it could learn. During a brief lull, Marcus checked on Liara. She was exhausted, yet her eyes were sharp, analyzing every detail of the predator's behavior. "You've taught them well," he said quietly. She shook her head. "No. You teach yourselves. Courage, ingenuity, willingness to risk. That is human. That is why you survive." Marcus nodded. "Then let's finish this. We've delayed it long enough. We need to trap it completely or it will return stronger." They began assembling a final containment trap in the central hub of the station. Engineers connected harmonic generators in a circle, surrounded by energy fields and reinforced barriers. Liara instructed the crew on precise movements and pulse patterns. The plan was risky. If it failed, the predator could destroy the station. But if it succeeded, they could contain it long enough to force it back into a dimensional phase where it could be neutralized. The predator returned with a roar that shook the station. Its form was larger, more defined, and it moved with deadly Speed. Crew members activated the harmonic trap as Marcus and Liara guided them. Energy waves pulsed outward in irregular patterns, forcing the Predator to hesitate. Marcus signaled the crew to adjust frequencies rapidly. Sparks flew, energy shields hummed, and the Predator faltered, phasing in and out with visible strain. Liara's gestures directed the energy precisely, her hands moving like a conductor controlling a symphony. For the first time, the Predator could not move freely. It became caught in the overlapping fields of energy, unable to phase completely. The station shook violently as the containment trap held it in place. Marcus felt a mix of relief and exhaustion. "This is it," he shouted. "Keep it focused. Don't let it escape." The Predator struggled, flickering violently. Panels scorched, alarms blared, and the station trembled, but the crew persisted. Every adjustment, every improvisation, every pulse of energy forced the Predator to fight in ways it had not experienced in millennia. Finally, with one last coordinated surge, the Predator recoiled, emitting a low, piercing sound before phasing violently and vanishing into the dimensional rift. Silence fell. The station shook one final time, then stilled. Marcus slumped against the console, breathing heavily. Around him the crew stared, exhausted but triumphant. Liara approached, her face calm but relieved. "It is gone. For now. You humans. You did what we could not. Courage, adaptability, unpredictability. That is your strength." Marcus nodded, looking at his crew. "We survived because we worked together. We used our minds, our instincts, and yes, our risks. We adapted. That's what makes humans strong." Liara smiled faintly. Yes, strong. Perhaps stronger than even we imagined. You inspire hope, not just for yourselves, but for all who face the hunters. Marcus felt a surge of pride. Humans had faced an ancient, unstoppable predator and survived through ingenuity and courage. The station was damaged, but the crew had proven that adaptability and determination were more powerful than raw strength alone. The sun of the distant planet outside rose, casting golden light through the station's windows. Marcus stood beside Liara, watching the horizon. He knew the Predator could return, stronger or smarter, but humanity had shown its greatest strength, the will to survive, to adapt, and to fight even against impossible odds. And in that quiet moment, Marcus realized something profound. Humans were more than just survivors. They were innovators, fighters, and above all, unpredictable. The universe had tested them, and they had answered. Liara placed a hand on his shoulder. "Tomorrow, we prepare again. The hunters, they never rest. But with humans, perhaps they may learn caution." Marcus looked at her, a determined smile forming. "Then we'll be ready, together." The station hummed with life again. Humans and Liara had faced the Predator and survived. They had proven that courage, intelligence, and adaptability could triumph even in the darkest moments. And though the battle was not over, humanity had answered the call, and it was a call they would never ignore. The station was quiet, but the calm felt fragile. Station Argus had survived the Predator's assault, but damage to the hull and internal systems was extensive. Emergency lights hummed softly, and crew members worked tirelessly to repair structural panels, restore power, and recalibrate the harmonic devices that had once contained the ancient threat. Lieutenant Marcus Hale walked through the corridors, inspecting the work. Crew members moved efficiently, their expressions still tense but filled with pride. They had faced a force that seemed unstoppable, and they had survived, not through strength alone, but through intelligence, courage, and adaptability. Liara walked beside him. Her presence was calm, yet there was a sense of purpose in every step. Marcus looked at her. "You know," he said quietly, "when you first appeared, I didn't know if we could trust you. Now, I don't think we could have done this without you. Liara's dark eyes softened. And yet, you humans, you surprised me. We, my people, had forgotten what courage and risk could achieve. You, humans, you face danger, and yet, you act, you adapt, you survive. Marcus nodded, thinking about the past few days. The impossible visitor who appeared through his wall, the warnings of hunters older than the stars, the relentless predator, and the teamwork that had saved them all. Humanity's strength was not in technology alone, it was in ingenuity, courage, and unpredictability. We learned from each other, Marcus said. You taught us, and we taught you. That's how we survived. And that's why I think humanity has a future the universe won't expect. Liara smiled faintly. Yes, perhaps. Your species is rare, unpredictable, strong, brave. Perhaps together, we can face what comes next. The predator had been driven away, but the threat was not gone. Marcus knew it could return, or another could take its place. The universe was vast, full of unknown dangers, and humans were now aware that survival required more than just living. It required learning, adapting, and fighting when all odds seemed impossible. In the command center, engineers were restoring energy flow, recharging harmonic devices, and repairing communication links. Crew members checked sensors repeatedly, ensuring no trace of the predator remained. Marcus and Liara watched the process, a sense of quiet accomplishment surrounding them. Suddenly, a soft chime sounded on the main console. Marcus walked over. The sensor readout showed a faint shimmer near the outer hull, an anomaly in the phase field. He frowned. Liara, do you see this? She approached, studying the display. It is minor. Not the predator. Perhaps remnants of its phase, dispersing. We must watch, but do not fear yet. Marcus nodded, feeling a mew